Good Morning Charleston starts right now.
Hey, good morning to you, Charleston. It is Friday, everybody. I'm John Bruce, just hours away from the weekend. Storm Tracker meteorologist Emily Gracie is here. And how's that weekend forecast looking at?
Looking pretty good out there. Feeling pretty good right now compared to past mornings here this week. We are in the 50s, still falling, and many of us will be in the 40s by the time you head out the door this morning, but still not bad compared to the freezing temperatures we had earlier this week. It's 50 right now in Summerville, 52 in Charleston. It's clear, it's dry, but I do want to keep an eye on a front to our north. There's some rain to our north. That front is going to sink south into the area this weekend, but it's probably not even going to bring us any rain. We may not even notice that front as it moves in. So pretty quiet forecast here. Today certainly going to be a warm one. In fact, over the next few hours we'll rise into the upper 50s, 60s by 9 a.m., 70s, mid 70s through the lunchtime hour, and then upper 70s this afternoon. I'll have a look at beach conditions and a look ahead to the weekend and when rain does return to the forecast. That's all coming up.
In that primetime address last night, President Biden ordered all states to allow adults to sign up for the COVID-19 vaccination starting on May 1st. Here in South Carolina, new federal and state guidelines will allow for in-person nursing home visits. Our Eli Brand has more, including a mother and daughter who haven't seen each other face-to-face in over a year.
But it'd be wonderful to be able to really see everybody again up close and talk to them.
Joan Ladd is 96 and lives in Bishop Gadsden, an assisted living facility on James Island. She hasn't been in the same room as her family in a year, but that's about to change.
Oh, as soon as they can come down.
The federal government and DHEC started allowing in-person visitations today in assisted living facilities. There are still some restrictions, including a 30-minute time limit on visits and no children under 12, but for Joan and her family, it still means everything.
The thought of being able to have a hug for an hour, it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful.
I'll have Ann in tears.
Ann Filbert says she'll clear the tears and leave Ohio to visit mom around Easter after she herself is vaccinated.
It was like the best news I've had since I knew I could get a vaccine.
DHEC officials say they're still working on changing some of the guidelines, but for Bishop Gadsden, they say they're going forward with visits that have already been planned.
Residents who have been confined in nursing areas, this is just so important.
Over 300 days of confinement are finally over.
I love you, Mom.
That's wonderful, sweetheart.
And I love Bishop Gadsden.
Working for you, Eli Brand, ABC News 4.
A lot of those tears going around these days. A few other rules to keep in mind. This is from DHEC. No pets indoors. Face masks need to be worn, and visitors can only see the person they are there to visit. For a full list, you can head to DHEC's website. Students at Lucy Beckham High School in Mount Pleasant going back to virtual learning beginning today until the 22nd. In a phone blast sent to families, they say it's because of a COVID-19 outbreak at the school. CCSD's dashboard shows that there are 13 reported cases of COVID-19 in just 4 days' time. Well, vaccines that are rolling out for Low Country school staff, and our Jennifer Collins went to Berkeley County's district headquarters where employees got their first and only shot.
How was the feeling getting it? Oh, it was bad. Yeah, just like being flu shot, it was good.
Berkeley County School District employees were able to get the one-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
Really relieved that was the Johnson & Johnson on the school side of things. It's one time coming here and getting it done, and I can leave and feel good that I've been vaccinated.
The one-shot vaccine helped get staff in and out.
But a lot of our teachers do not like to leave their classrooms. They are teaching for a reason and they want to be in there. So knowing that this is a one-time thing that they have to do, they don't have to keep up with that second dose, then we wanted to offer that to them. However, we are offering some other opportunities for our staff members who wanted the two-shot vaccine also.
Other Low Country school districts also offered vaccines this past week. CCSD offering the first dose of the 2-dose Pfizer vaccine in a partnership with MUSC, while DD2 worked with Fetter Health Network to offer the first dose of the Moderna vaccine. Just another move these districts are making to keep students and teachers safe.
For students, it's just another layer of protection. So safety and security is very important here. It's one of our priorities. So knowing that our school-based staff are all going to be vaccinated helps keep everyone healthy, but it also allows them to continue to offer quality, high instruction education.
Working for you, Jennifer Collins, ABC News 4.
Jennifer, thanks. Somerville has a new top cop. Major Doug Wright will take over as police chief. He'll replace Chief John Rogers, who's stepping down from that position after nearly 5 years in charge. Major Wright will assume command on April 16th. A measure to double the salary for Somerville Town Council members that passed its first reading Thursday night. Council there voting 6-1 to pass that measure, giving themselves a raise. If passed, council members would get paid $15,000. That's up from $7,500, and the mayor position would be paid $25,000 instead of the current $15,000 salary. 2 suspects in custody this morning following a chase out of North Charleston. Check out the scene around 4 o'clock. Thursday afternoon on Crowfield Boulevard. That's after the suspects bailed from their vehicle. Police say the suspects were wanted for a robbery in North Charleston. And not one, but 2 lucky dogs were saved by the Walterboro Fire Department recently. This happened Wednesday morning on Klein Street. Officials say that they were pulled from a smoke-filled home. Firefighters used a Fido bag, as it's known, to help them breathe again after they inhaled smoke. No other injuries were reported. And a suspect in an officer-involved shooting now facing several felony charges. Charleston police say that that suspect is George Sanner. He is in stable condition after being shot Wednesday on Mary Ader Avenue. Just last month, Sanner was arrested for brandishing a deadly weapon at a restaurant and was out on bail at the time. The officer involved with the shooting, not named, but is said to have 8 years of law enforcement experience and is now on administrative leave. That is per SLED protocol. The U.S. House, they voted to close that so-called Charleston loophole. The bill would extend initial background checks from 3 to 10 days when trying to purchase a weapon. The loophole allowed a gunman to purchase the firearm used to kill 9 Mother Emanuel churchgoers back in 2015. The bill was written by House Majority Whip and South Carolina Congressman James Clyburn. Representatives Nancy Mace and Tom Rice voted against that bill, which will now head on to the Senate. Officials still not saying what led to one person being shot. 4 others hurt. Several Richland County deputies responded to a scene around 4 o'clock Wednesday. A couple of hours after that incident, a crew from our sister station say 2 motorcycles and a pickup truck were towed away from that scene.
We believe this is an isolated incident and that there is no danger to the community at this time.
That's a bicycle shop right there, a motorcycle shop rather, on 2 Notch Road. So far, no arrests have been made in that case. Well, a hate crime bill making its way through the State House. It no longer offers protections for gay or transgendered people. A House subcommittee passed the amendment Thursday morning to also remove creed, gender, age, and ancestry from that bill. Suji Nam has more on that decision.
South Carolina is one of only 3 states without a hate crime bill. On Thursday morning, the Judiciary Constitutional Law Subcommittee showed full support by discussing penalty enhancements for these crimes.
I commend everybody for helping us come this far, the pastor of Mother Emanuel Church, and all the members, and all the victims of hate crimes.
The hate crime bill has been on the state's agenda for more than 2 years. Representative Wendell Gilliard, the primary sponsor, has been fighting for this legislation to make its way onto the governor's desk ever since. The subcommittee unanimously voted on a few amendments, which would provide judges with more leeway when sentencing cases and establishing 6 protected classes of hate crimes, including race, color, religion, sex, national origin, and physical or mental disability. Representative Justin Bamberg added that the criteria should be widened to sexual orientation.
As government, it's just important that we understand that we have citizens who do live that way.
Chairman Newton, however, pushed for these amendments to stand, with their utmost priority to get this bill to the full committee next week before heading to the House floor.
Suji Nam reporting there. South Carolina, one of 3 states without a hate crime bill on the books. The 2 others are Arkansas and Wyoming. The full House Judiciary Committee is set to take up that bill again on next Tuesday. Meantime, a new bill prohibiting minors who identify as transgender from altering their bodies has been introduced in the South Carolina House. That bill would make it illegal to perform surgeries or prescribe medication to minors that are intended to alter gender or delay puberty. The bill also makes it illegal for school officials to withhold knowledge of a child's desire to be transgender from the child's parents or legal guardian. And the House now making it easier to get alcohol. One bill allowing beer and wine to be delivered to homes on the same day that they're ordered. That delivery driver would need to check and scan a buyer's identification. A second bill allows restaurants to include alcohol when delivering meals as part of curbside pickup. That bills will head to the state Senate after one more routine vote. And some good news on the job front this morning. 712,000 applications for unemployment filed last week, the lowest since early November. Still on the high side, many say. Evidence fewer employers are cutting jobs amid the decline in the coronavirus cases and signs of an improving economy. Let's let it come right here this morning. New developments in the case against Andrew Cuomo, another accuser coming forward. What a top lawmaker in the governor's own party is calling for. That's coming up.
Another beautiful day out there today. Great day for outdoor activities. I'm going to tell you which day next week that rain is going to be moving back into the forecast. That's after the break.
40%, that's how many voters do not think that people living in other nations or companies from other nations should be allowed to own land in the United States. The Scott Rasmussen National Survey